It's a tough climb, but the view is worth it, and once more I feel the presence of Zoroaster. These are the ruins of an ancient temple, once more taking me back to a time that precedes Islam, where once the sacred flames burned. Tomorrow I set out for the source of that fire, a fire that hasn't been extinguished for thousands of years. I have an appointment with the people of the flame. Further southeast of Esfahan, in the heart of Iran, are the ruins of Persepolis, ancient capital of the mighty Persian Empire. Persepolis is actually its Greek name. In ancient Farsi, it was called Parsa. And 2,400 years ago, Parsa had running water, an effective drainage system, and not to mention one of the world's greatest libraries. From here, you could send a letter to the ends of the earth. That was until Alexander the Great destroyed Parsa in the 3rd century BC.
You know, I've always wanted to come to Persepolis. As a kid, I used to read about Alexander and what the Greeks did when they came here. But walking through these columns, you can just get an impression of what this place must have been like. I mean, these are 60, 70 feet, and the roof was on top of that. It's just mind-blowing, really.
Persepolis, or Parsa, was also an important center of the state belief, Zoroastrianism, which is the real reason I'm here. Near Parsa is a group of living Zoroastrians, worshipping before the tomb of a former Persian emperor, Darius the Great. It's a sign of a thaw in fundamentalist Iran. They were prevented from doing this until very recently.
Thank you very much.
It's very old.
You are welcome to Iran. No? Yes, of course, it's of 205,000 years ago.
Really?
2,500 years ago, yes. This ceremony, it will be continued always. And over here, as you see, over there, you see the moon.
This strange winged figure is the sacred symbol of Zoroaster's god. And as always, central to their worship is fire.
Could you explain to me why you burn the fire every time that you pray?
We believe in brightness.
You see, always we must stand towards the light. Makes no difference. No, there is sun, we can stand towards the sun. If there is no sun, we turn on the fire, and we always toward the light we stand.
The light of
yes,
moon,
there should be beam. Always
so it's always warmth and light.
Rays of fire, rays of sun, rays of whatever it is light. Toward the light we stand and pray. Because we believe that brightness brings happiness in life.
That's a
Due
nice
to
way
that,
look.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at last I've found the people of the flame. But if I want to see the ancient flame itself, I must go further east. There I will find the original fire lit all those years ago by Zoroaster. I want to travel through this country the way Marco Polo and the old silk traders did. It has to be by camel. My route takes me into the desert along the old Silk Route between China and the West, where great camel caravans once carried men's fortunes on their backs. If Marco Polo were alive today, he'd find this valley unchanged. As I travel through these vast primordial spaces, I've almost forgotten the 21st century exists. And then I arrive at my destination. It's called Chak, a cluster of buildings embedded into a massive mountain. This is the end of my journey. This is where I'll find the sacred flame. Chak is one of the most important of all Zoroastrian shrines. Anyone entering it must be purified. So suitably washed, I leave my shoes at the door and enter the sanctuary. And there before me is the flame I've come all this way to see. All around me are the worshippers. I don't understand the words, but in their faces I see something that needs no translation. And now I gaze at a fire that's been burning for nearly 2,500 years, never extinguished. Fire kindled from fire, flame begetting flame in an ancient line of descent from that first fire of Zoroaster. I'm staring at their gift of God. And as I watch, I'm reminded of the man who first conceived those values we still hold sacred today. Long before the dawn of Judaism, Christianity and Islam, it was Zoroaster who first saw a single supreme being, a struggle between good and evil, a savior, a last judgment, a beginning and an end. And he saw it all in a flame, the flame into which I now gaze, a flame so eternal that it will burn until the ends of the earth.